He was in a relationship when we got married. He was 23, dating a 16-year-old girl, and the night we got married, he asked to go see her. I want to say the first year after we were married, I would drive my husband and leave him to spend time with his 16-year-old ex-girlfriend.
And that is just the first clip of the insanity that surrounds and is Adrasdea, as well as my introduction to her. Oh boy. How's it going, everyone? I'm Hatman, and I am the devil incarnate and the harbinger of hell. And hell may be an apt description of Adrastea's entire existence. But there's a lot to get through, so let's crack on with it. Before I go any further in this, I want to make it clear that Adrasdea has obvious psychological problems. I'm not oblivious to it, and I'm not ignoring it. It can be a mitigating factor in a lot of her behavior and reactions, but it is not a blanket excuse.
Y'all are asking me how I could possibly be naive enough to believe that he wasn't in a sexual relationship with her, that it was just a emotional relationship.
Needless to say, it didn't take long for questions to be asked about her ex-husband's relationship with a 16-year-old girl, something which it seems she has considered and how it would appear to outsiders, and so she began an attempt to explain things, which really didn't help much.
I was also in an emotional relationship with somebody else when we got married. For a year or so after I got married, when me and my husband would fight, I would leave and I would go crawl in this man's window and crawl in bed next to him and just lay there with my head on his chest, listening to his heartbeat and being held and feeling loved. And it had absolutely nothing to do with sex.
I'm not sure how to comment on something like that. She crawls through his bedroom window at night and just climbs into bed with him for cuddles. She says it as if it's completely normal, that anyone would do it. I suspect there's a few steps which have been missed out as she recalls events in perhaps a more comforting way.
So that's how I'm able to believe that my husband was in a non-sexual relationship with somebody else. Because I was too. Neither of us were able to be emotionally supportive for the other one. We really never should have gotten married.
I doubt there'd be any argument that they shouldn't have gotten married, but is a 23-year-old newly married man really going to be seeking emotional support from a 16-year-old girl? How much emotional support can she offer to a grown-ass man?
It's really gross to throw around words like pedophile to try to discredit transgendered people.
Where the hell did this come from? Transgender? I don't recall that coming up in her recollections.
My husband never said he was sleeping with that girl. It was an emotional relationship. Later, after I found out what he was, I assumed that she knew he was transgendered, and he was going over there for support from somebody who knew what he was struggling with, because he didn't tell me until 4 years into our relationship.
4 years down the line, she finds out that hubby is transgender. He never told her. He also didn't tell her he was sleeping with a 16-year-old girl. She just made the assumption that he didn't, and that he was getting emotional support from the girl regarding his trans status. And that's why he was going there.
And now y'all are saying that he's a pedophile because he's transgender. That's disgusting.
I'm pretty sure the main reason for people making accusations was a 23-year-old newly married man regularly seeing and spending the night with a 16-year-old girl with the blessing of his wife. It'd be hard to suggest the reason for it was anything to do with transgenderism. Sounds more like someone, Adrasdea, has heard the accusations but hasn't quite thought them through properly yet, so is seizing upon supposed transphobia to excuse hers and her ex-husband's very questionable behavior.
That's why I'm calling you people Nazis, because you're calling transgendered people all pedophiles.
Don't question the behavior of a 20-something man with a 16-year-old girl, because that makes you a Nazi if the person you're talking about happens to be trans, and something that wasn't brought up in advance. Mind-reading Nazis, scourge of the internet.
No, I did not help rape and molest a 16-year-old girl when I was 19. He told me they never had sex. I don't know if that's true or not.
Her fourth follow-up video on the topic of her husband was only a couple of days after her first revelation, but the first signs begin to show that maybe people have a point and she's recognizing this.
He's being dropped off at her parents' house. The girls' mom and dad were right there in the next room. But it's my fault for whatever happened. I don't know why. I don't even know this girl. I never knew her name.
She doesn't know the girl's name, but knows where the girl lives, took her husband to be with her, and knows her parents were right there in the next room, but doesn't know that anything was going on. Despite this going on for years, while he didn't mention little things like apparently being transgender. Okay.
My ex-husband, I don't know what he did, but I never helped anybody hurt a child. That's an awful thing that you guys are saying about me. That came from something that happened when I was 19 and being manipulated by an abusive husband.
I wonder if that's where the penny finally dropped, that the defense she mustered up to that point was all based on a lie. She doesn't know what her ex-husband did, but she never helped hurt a child. Rather than completely defending her ex-husband, now she's pointing out that she was a victim of manipulation and abuse.
I'm literally being attacked by Nazis.
Nazis. I hate these guys.
They're angry at the transgendered situation. They're railing against the unisex bathrooms. They got upset with me for having pink hair because that's not conformist. They're literally Nazis.
Nobody gave a damn about her pink hair. Nobody gave a damn about her ex-husband being trans, or even knew about it until she brought it up and used it as a means to mitigate allegations being made against him. Anyone who dares to make claims of abuse where a 23-year-old man is spending the night with a 16-year-old girl is a Nazi. Pretty sure there's a little bit more to being a Nazi than just that.
We don't care if the Nazis hate us. Hey, Adonis Hitler.
What? I mean, don't call me Hitler.
It doesn't bother me that Hitler hates me. In fact, if you're doing something in life that makes a Nazi hate you, you're probably doing something right.
Well, I guess 21st century Nazis are quite a force to be reckoned with. And if not endorsing a 20-something guy hanging about in private with a 16-year-old girl makes me a Nazi, then so be it. If being critical of his wife dropping him off and picking him up makes me a Nazi, then so be it. Because for all of her deflection and defense of herself and using the transgender banner to shield her ex-husband from recrimination, it's highly likely there were multiple counts of statutory rape taking place. And aware or not, manipulated or not, she helped to facilitate that.
So a big part of me just wants to kill myself right now. Like, I just don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to pretend that it's ever going to get better. That anybody's ever going to look at me and actually care and see me as a human being and not just this worthless piece of garbage. That's what'll make me real to you, right? If I just get rid of the pink, that's what you kept saying. And I look like an alien. Is this stripped down enough for you? Is this human enough for you? Is this enough? Is it ever going to be enough? Or are you just going to keep coming to my channel when I'm having nervous breakdowns and telling me that I'm lying about everything, that I'm just making everything up, that I'm not real, I'm not a human being?
I'm not a woman going through anything. I'm just lying, right?
A moment ago, she mentioned about how she was being attacked by Nazis because she had pink hair and didn't conform. Obviously, there are more than a few mental issues at play here. According to her, she had an abusive upbringing, family members who were scum of the earth, parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, none of whom cared about her, and pretty much made her life a living hell. Domestic abuse and violence was a daily occurrence between her parents when she was growing up. After leaving home, she's had several boyfriends, one of whom turned out to be a child-raping murderer who she feared for her life in the presence of and turned him into the police. She then marries a guy who keeps the fact he's transgender from her for 4 years, but she helps to drive him to and from the home of a 16-year-old girl that he's having a long-term relationship with and potentially abusing and also raping. And when her misguided relationships have crumbled around her, she's turned to the internet and YouTube for the attention and validation she craves, which is perhaps one of the worst places you can go if you want validation.
So I took a short break from YouTube today because the hatred was starting to affect my mental health again, and I'm trying really hard to hold it together.
Yeah, because taking a break from YouTube for a few hours is exactly what she needed, and that'll fix everything.
My channel has been about my mental health journey for years. They knew what I was when they started harassing me.
I doubt anyone, including her, really knows what she's about from that channel. Besides, the harassment started off on the back of her husband and her enabling him. Her reactions, often irrational, continued to feed the trolling.
They're watching me, that they've been into my apartment. They want me to believe.
Oh!
Look at all of these.
Why does Dark Ninja always wind up in the middle of these things? Oh!
They have photos I sold to Steven. Steven is my ex-husband, so again, they're threatening revenge porn from pictures from my ex-husband. There's a camera in the bathroom now. We moved items in your apartment. I didn't shower for 3 days. Proof of the bathroom cam. They don't know how I bathe every day. See, they want me to believe that they have been in my apartment. They want me to believe that there's a camera in my bathroom. They want me to believe that I'm being watched.
Their comments intended to provoke a reaction. She can see what they are, and that people are saying things to troll her and trigger a reaction. She could ignore it. She could delete and block them, but instead, she reacts. So why should they stop?
2 very boring minutes later.
They're never going to stop, you know. They know that I have mental health issues, and that's why they're doing this. They find people online with mental health issues, and then they push them until they either convert them to being their hateful like them, or they kill themselves. I'm not going to be converted. I'm not going to join their hate. I'm not going to be like them, which means that they have no choice but to push me to hurt myself. They have to get rid of me somehow. I'm not allowed to live. I'm not allowed to be here. I'm mentally ill and I should be gone. I should be silenced on all platforms. Nobody should ever listen to me or talk to me or help me. They're literally, they say don't help her. It would be better if people would just abandon me to die.
Boy, that escalated quickly. 0 to 120 from seeing troll comments for what they are to pretty much everybody wants her to die. But the full meltdown came over the next few days, right before she departed YouTube for her own sanity, with 59 videos uploaded in less than 3 days. But like a psychotic pink boomerang, she would be back very quickly.
They told me they were in my apartment today, which means they have access to my apartment, which means that I'm not safe here. They told me they put a camera in my bathroom. I don't know. I don't know if they did or not. I don't know if I can take a shower or not without them watching. I don't know if they're going to come in at me at 2 in the morning when they think I'm asleep. I can't sleep now, ever. I can't be comfortable and rest in my own home because they've been here. I told y'all they were here.
They took my other necklace pendant, and then today they told me they came in my apartment. They told me they were in my apartment. I know that they came in my apartment. They came in the other time and they stole my stuff. They came in this time and they planted a camera and they have access to my home. I've only been here for 2 months and they've already got access to my home.
The beginning of the 3 days of insanity was that little gem. A couple of days earlier, she dismissed the claims of cameras in her bathroom because she was somewhat rational. She picked up it was simply people trying to trigger her. So what changed? Well, between that video and this one, she doxed herself on YouTube. She put up a video of herself filming her electric bill, so full name and address were there for all to see. In reality, less than 10 people saw it before she yanked the video down. Suddenly everything was on the table and anything was possible. Breaking and entering her apartment, spy cams in the bathroom, everything.
You just want me to hurt myself. You just want me to die. Because you hate me. You want me to die. Because you don't want to see my videos anymore. Instead of not watching me, you have to make me kill myself. Because you don't like my face, you have to make me kill myself. Because you don't like my hair, you have to make me kill myself. You can't just stop watching my videos. You have to torture me and make me kill myself. Because you can't handle somebody that you don't like making videos on YouTube.
There are plenty of people on YouTube I don't like, and sometimes I watch what they produce, sometimes I don't. It all depends on whether I plan on making my content by commenting on theirs, which at the moment means hers. Are people trolling to the point that they genuinely want her to kill herself? Well, this is the internet, so I'd say it's at least a possibility. Is it a great conspiracy from the 1 or 2 people to actually feature her in their videos? Doubtful, but that doesn't mean that some people orbiting those channels wouldn't cross the line.
Y'all tell me to just focus on other things. Well, how? How do I focus on other things when the first thing I see in the morning when I wake up is men laughing at me? And there are thousands of supporters egging them on.
Well, it might be easier said than done, but given trolls thrive on reactions, the only real options are to either belittle and humiliate them and eventually they go away, or block and ignore them and eventually they go away. It's not easy to turn the other cheek, but if you react in the way the provocations intend, then you're supplying the fuel to keep the fire burning. But let's face it, someone as unstable as Adrasdea is not going to reach that conclusion quickly. And along the way, she is probably going to stumble upon many, many false conclusions.
How could it be worse than 18 years of head lice?
I'm sure you can guess what followed very soon after that latest revelation. Numerous sock accounts belonging to head lice.
What y'all are doing is pushing me to hurt myself and pushing me further and further back away from the progress that I've made. It's not help. And you need to stop trying to convince yourself that it is.
Not that I'm trying to excuse anyone who legitimately wants to trigger some sort of psychotic episode and make herself harm, but it's almost like a victim complex here. As the owner of a channel, she has the ultimate control on that channel. She can turn the comments off altogether. She can block people, set all the comments to be held until she reviews and approves them, or she can simply not upload, or upload privately, or unlisted links.
Y'all tell me to just stop making videos. Why can't you just stop watching them? Why should I have to stop making videos when I had supporters before you guys? And now hundreds of people want me to hurt myself on camera for their enjoyment. Because Royce and Adonis and JJ think it's funny.
It's a valid point that people could stop watching her videos, but most people aren't watching because they're being altruistic. They want something. Me, I want the material to comment on, though I'm trying to keep it somewhat objective and don't genuinely wish her any harm. Some of her trolls want a reaction, maybe even to the extent that she does harm herself. She can take control of the situation, and that's probably something she'd be told in therapy, that she needs to take control of her life and the decisions she makes. Instead, she's posting, people are commenting, and she's reacting. She has the tools and the power to do something about it, but doesn't.
Yesterday they were begging paying to see me bleed on camera for Royce. I don't give a f*** about Adonis. Adonis is not a real human being. He's not real. Adonis Paul is not a real person. Even on his channel, it says that he is not a real person.
Yeah, it's all part of the show. The gimmick. She says Royce is real, obviously because you can see him on Daywave Radio, but Adonis Paul isn't, despite being voiced by a real person, and the AP cartoon is an avatar.
That's why I'm upset with Royce! Because he's a real person! He's calling my family! Who I've been trying to avoid for years!
And it's no wonder that it would piss her off that Royce spoke to her cousin. I'll put the link in the description and up there if you want to go and check out the full conversation on Daywave Radio's channel. But yes, when I first heard about Adrasdea, it was pretty clear that she wasn't just another lols cow. In addition to being obviously psychologically disturbed, the comments about her ex-husband and his underage girlfriend, claims in earlier videos about a murder carried out by her boyfriend at the time, a convicted child predator who murdered his previous girlfriend, were confirmed by her cousin. It's also apparent that Adrasdea has a predilection for predatory men, with at least 2 ex-partners charged with rape of minors, including one of those victims being a 12-year-old girl. So yeah, pretty much everything involving her is screwed up.
And you're just gonna keep standing up for Royce and saying, Royce is fine, Royce paid you. Yeah, he paid me $50 that I want to give him back. And it doesn't matter because he still won't stop. Even if I give him the money back, he won't stop because he wants me dead. If he didn't want me hurt, why is he doing this? Every single morning, why? Why am I waking up to these people laughing at me if they don't hate me? Why am I waking up to these people mocking me if they don't want me to hurt myself? Why were there over 100 messages yesterday saying, show us the blood? If they don't want me to hurt myself, they do. Royce wants me dead, or he would not be doing this to me.
So as we can all see, therapy is clearly going well for her.
Y'all are saying I doxed myself. Yes, fine. I accidentally let my address out because I was excited about getting my electric bill because it's my first electric bill when I have my own home. And I was excited and I wanted to show it off. And then people started posting that they were gonna come and rape me. I accidentally posted my address for 30 seconds. That does not make it okay to tell people to come and rape me using my face and my name, telling men that I like to be raped. How does accidentally putting my address out there make that okay? How can y'all actually defend that?
I don't know how many channels have covered Adrasdea. I'm only aware of 2 other channels to give her any notable attention, and neither of them have publicly said that any of what she's claiming is okay. If anything, they've said the complete opposite.
Doxing yourself should not lead to violent rape. There is a difference between accidentally releasing your address for 30 seconds and having multiple people use that to have men come over and rape you. Why are you trying to make this my fault? Now if somebody comes in and rapes me tonight, it's gonna be my fault because I doxed myself. Because I got excited about getting my light bill, and now I have to be afraid because these men want me raped. It's not a joke. It's not light trolling when you're giving out somebody's address and saying, come rape me. That is not a joke. That is not a joke. It's not a joke. They're literally giving out my address and telling men to come rape me. Please stop telling me that I deserve this for accidentally exposing my address because I was excited. I do not deserve rape because I posted my address. I do not deserve to be raped because I posted my address. I do not deserve to be raped because I posted my address. Nobody does. Nobody in this whole world deserves to be raped because they accidentally posted their address. Nobody!
Someone posted a comment, I believe on one of her videos, which repeated her address and saying she had fantasies. That was basically part of her reaction. In addition to the previous segment accusing others of saying it was okay. It's hard to maintain sympathy when the more you see of her, the more you see how little she does to help herself. She's quick to cast blame, and as we saw with her child predator ex, or multiple exes, make excuses rather than take responsibility. And where she has the option to do something and take control, instead always goes down the route of loudly and emotionally presenting herself as the victim. The comment was shitty and could easily have been removed. Instead, she basically reposts the thing, draws more attention to it, and by extension herself, in her quest for sympathy.
Because I accidentally released my address and now they're gonna have me raped and probably killed. I was doing fine before they entered my life. I was in therapy. I was taking my medication. I just got into my apartment and now I'm sitting here waiting to be raped.
20 minutes later.
You're saying I'll be fine, that I'm just being paranoid. I'll be fine. How do you know I'm going to be fine when they are posting my address on 4chan? How do you know I'm going to be fine? How do you know I'm going to be fine when these people are posting it on 4chan and millions of people could have seen it and shared it by now? How do you know I'm going to be fine? How do you know? How do you know?
5 minutes later.
I never changed my story. It is Adonis or Royce or JJ, and they're doing it on 4chan as well as on my YouTube. I didn't change my story. I was just informed that it was on 4chan. That's not changing my story. That's not saying it's 4chan and not Adonis. That's saying that Adonis put it on 4chan.
I bet her neighbors love her. Literally in the space of about 30 minutes, she's gone from despondent to irrational and uncontrollable rage, back to despondent, back to irrational and uncontrollable rage again. Is she being provoked? Yes. Is she mentally unstable? Totally.
I need to apologize to Royce from Daywave Radio and JJ Stoner. I am truly sorry that I falsely accused you of acts that were being done by other people.
And at some point, rationality dawned, and she finally realized that Royce and Daywave Radio weren't responsible for the trolling she was receiving, to the extent that she actually made an apology. However,
Proof that these people worked for Royce. Zelda, I'm saying this right now. Mention him one more time and I'm going to show up to your place and f*** you up. This is somebody working for Royce. They just proved it. They're working for Royce and they know where I live and they're going to show up and kill me.
it didn't last long before the paranoia resurfaced, along with rewording someone's troll post into an apparent death threat. That 7.5 second segment, run at 200 times normal speed, basically covered the rest of that 3-day period of insanity. More than an hour's worth of footage and probably a dozen further videos that she produced. There seemed to be little point in rehashing things over again because she keeps repeating the same arguments. And with that, the dive into the insanity of Adrasdea came to an end. Or so I thought, because when I got up this morning, there's another dozen videos on a new channel because, oh yes, she's back.
So, I am back. Probably to nobody's surprise.
Oh no. And no, not surprised either.
I'm being controlled by a group of men who just want to profit off of me being in misery.
She's a lols cow, basically, with severe psychological problems, sure, and perhaps someone who should be left alone because trolling might actually cause some serious consequences, and the profit is basically a couple of channels, and now me, I guess, profiting from the material that she puts out there.
One of them made $800 on a single video about me. And after that, the harassment really amped up because he realized how much money I was worth.
She's referring to Adonis Paul, who makes hundreds of dollars every live stream, long before she came around and will continue to long after she's gone. But that's the connection that she makes. She features for 20 to 30 minutes of a 3-hour stream and is the sole reason why tips are given. She wants to be left alone, apparently, but also wants to be the reason why things happen.
I'll do what you want, just leave me alone in my real life. Please don't come to my home. Please don't come after me dressed as police or pretend to be my friends to infiltrate my life. They made videos telling their supporters to friend me on Facebook to continue getting content for them. And that requires, pretending to be my friend.
I must have missed that because while there were one or two people reading some of the comments from her Facebook pity post, yours truly included, there wasn't any suggestion in any of the videos that I saw which said, "Go forth, friend that woman, and bring me content."
Because I originally blamed them, the larger channels, they have been threatening to sue me.
Can't imagine why they might do that when she accused them of calling for her rape and murder when they haven't. And she admits the trolls are anonymous. If anything, the trolling from the channel she keeps accusing is them demanding an apology. She even has people in her comments explaining in the most simplistic terms, which she sometimes responds to, but only in a manner that reinforces herself as the victim.
You deserve a lawsuit. Take that little phone and the rest of your stim check, make you sit in the dark alone with nothing to do. Turns out it was Dark Ninja and had nothing to do with me. You couldn't apologize, so get ready for the lawsuit. I told you guys. I'm literally doing what they're asking and they're still going to say. They're gonna take everything I have.
Dear Satan. Adonis Paul's comments she recites almost verbatim and presents it as if she's going to be sued and lose everything, and completely overlooks the final sentence demanding an apology. Okay, probably could have phrased it a little differently, maybe little carrots for the pink-haired crazy lady rather than the stick, most likely because she'll just take the stick and beat herself with it, but the point's the same. She made a load of unsubstantiated allegations, won't admit she was wrong, won't apologize, and doubles down that she's the victim. She may well be to some degree, but it doesn't mean she gets to point fingers randomly and shrug it off.
5 years I've been on the streets. And now just 3 months into having my Section 8, they're gonna take everything. They're gonna sue me and they're gonna take everything. Because I got scared and didn't know what was happening. Because I accused the wrong person and now I either have to leave my apartment or leave YouTube and let this man come and rape me. Or be sued by these larger channels that I can't defend myself against.
She's had people in the comments for several videos saying she's not really going to be sued because it'd be a waste of money if nothing else. But she slandered people and does owe them an apology for that. but nothing has been taken on board by her. The
Woe is me!
tale continues. She's done no wrong. Made mistakes is about all she'll allow for, but those mistakes still have consequences to address. And she literally again says, without naming names specifically, that she accused the wrong person and now has to leave her apartment or leave YouTube and let him come rape her or be sued.
I've left the apartment. I don't know where I'm going. I know that I can't ever go back there. I'm gonna... Oh God, that's probably them. They're everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
Okay, so she's apparently left home, at least for now, fleeing in terror while random passing cars are packed full of murdering rapists who are after her. You know, it's a pity they don't have patrols, kind of like animal control, picking up strays, but patrols that pick up batshit crazy people and take them to a nice soft padded room, a safe space where they can stay far away from normal people.
I tried going off of YouTube, and that's when they started threatening me in real life. So I came back to YouTube, and now I'm getting other threats, and I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore.
No proof, no evidence, no examples of these real-life threats, because this is a woman who I don't think is capable of separating fact from fiction, truth and lies, or the real world from the digital world. She was trolled, perhaps far too hard by some elements, but her response was to throw accusations at specific named individuals who have denied involvement. If anything, they've denounced some of the things that have been said to her. I'm not responsible for the action of my viewers any more than they are, and if I was accused of instigating anything, I wouldn't be too happy with it either. If it were me, I'd want a retraction and an apology. Fortunately, it's not me, I guess, even if it would give me potentially reams of content to keep me occupied. But then I guess Adrasdea isn't so broken that she'd want to piss off the old devil. And that really is it for this video. At this point, she hasn't uploaded anything further, but no doubt she will be back, and probably very soon. In all seriousness, I hope she gets herself sorted out and her life back on track. Her reactions online reveal how disturbed she is, and from the comments raised by her family about her life choices, there's clearly other factors that might not just result in harm to herself, but possibly to others because of her own carelessness or desire for approval from other people. The comment section is open, so you can let me know what you think, assuming YouTube doesn't block your posts before I even get to see them. I hope you'll favor the video with a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber, please click that icon down there and come back for more uploads and my weekly live stream. That's it from me. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Ave Satanas.